revolutionary art to propel history forward. I kind of think of myself as a professional troublemaker. I work in a lot of different media, from video to still photography to printmaking to sculpture to installation, but the thing that coheres all my art is that it's a deep engagement with helping people re-examine some of the cohering norms of American society and often imagine how the world could be radically different and far better.
Does anybody have any money to burn?
The project I'm working on while I'm at McColl Center in residence is actually I'm doing the research and development phase of a slave rebellion reenactment. It's going to reenact the largest slave rebellion in U.S. history. It happened in 1811 outside of New Orleans. It was about 500 men and women that were fighting for their emancipation. They had a bold and audacious plan to take up arms to free themselves, and not just to escape, not just to go in the woods, but actually to get rid of the slave society that was in that area. A lot of my work deals with potential, and so history is not predetermined, and this actually vividly shows that it didn't have to work out the way that it did. This rebellion could have been successful. If it were successful, you know, U.S. and world history would have been very different, and that what-if question poses a lot of possibilities and potential for the future.
A lot of my work has to do with taking something that's modern or something that's new, something that's clean, and putting that against something that is weathered, has years and years of character, or is totally natural and organic. And how, when you put those two things next to each other, how they interact with each other and affect each other, the way that when you put two colors next to each other, they change the color next to them. What I'm working on here is actually a mobile exhibition / event space. I'm nicknamed it the Art V. It's an old landscaping trailer that I've taken a 18-foot long by 6-foot diameter old liquid storage tank. And it's been sitting outside for at least 40 years, probably longer than that. So it's got, you know, layers of paint peeling up, rust streaks, puddles, all of these years of character. And then kind of contrasting with that is going to be these modern home materials. So there'll be some vinyl siding and some typical colonial porch pillars, these typical, like, really cheesy architectural details that you see in every suburban development everywhere. It's meant to question the types of materials that we are using in our construction and the way that those things make us feel versus the way that materials with more character make us feel. And I think when you put those things together, they really force that question much more than if you had built the structure out of either one or the other.
I'm an artist that creates work with communities by collecting oral narratives and histories, ephemera, and different artifacts. And I use these things to create site-specific installations within historic buildings, locations, and public spaces. When I source objects for my art installations, I'm usually looking for things that provoke nostalgia, stimulate memories, and activate my audience imagination. So things that I look for are different photo frames, objects like vintage Kodak projectors from 1960, book projectors from the 1940s and World War II, tintype photography from the 1800s, or even just a fun, funky, kitschy object that just sparks the imagination. The basis of my practice also is called the Kinship Project, which is an archive of over 3,000 images of African American family photography starting from 1867 till now. And I use that material to stimulate stories and memories from people, which they donate to my archive, and also I use that within my installations. Here at McColl, I've been experimenting with that process using the darkroom and trying to push what a contemporary tintype looks like. I'm referencing the origins of photography while trying to push the aesthetics of contemporary photography practices to really show you a person's life and show you their surroundings, what influences them, what they love, but to capture it in this kind of old-timey way, which cements the passage of time and how to kind of blur what we thought was important in the past to what we think will be important in the future.